Hey guys, this is a call from Freedom Fighters. Just want to get this video in. This video is pretty interesting. If you stick around, you'll see. Want to get this video. This is the Illuminati card game. Body bags in the corner. The stuff is in the side right there, as you can see. Syringe, mask, and all that other stuff. If you can read it, you know, more power to you. Can you think I get it in the frame? That right there, people, is the Illuminati card game. It says disaster. This is an attack. Destroy any place. It doesn't not require action. Its power is 14. This is not an instant attack. Other groups can interfere normally. If the attack succeeds, the target is devastated. This attack cannot actually destroy the target. Very interesting, right? Granted, this card was made in 1993. I really want to get into this card. I've seen this is what they call on Uprising, and they're calling us right now. So yeah, that's what they're calling us. Right there. As you can see that right there. So yeah. This powerless and much mocked group is, yeah, they call that's what they call us, but really we're truth seekers. And this is right here, International Communist Conspiracy, right next to the you know what card. He spilled stuff at the lab, international. That's what they do. They use the order out of chaos to gain their control. Do communist crap. And they censor us with the censorship. Can't talk about nothing. It's all right there. Can't talk about what's going on. Because if you talk about it, you'll get your video strike. That's exactly what it. Political correctness, censorship. Censorship, political correctness. And that right there is Alex Jones. That's what Carl was talking about. Alex Jones, censorship. They have to censor people so they can push their agenda, not ours. Because they know that we know what they're doing. This one, this is their goal, population reduction. That's in China. I mean, yeah, China. That's the Wutong crap. Illuminati card game predicted the out in Wuhan, China. Population reduction. That's the goal. Let me see here. The one I really wanted to talk about was, if I could find it, the reason for the video. Oh, here's another one. Bill Gates, evil geniuses for a better tomorrow. That's Bill Gates on the front, as you can see. That's Bill Gates. They're evil geniuses for a better tomorrow. What a shock, huh? If you didn't know. Yeah, man, these people are just sick. These things are all planned. If you didn't know. Alright, where's the card I want to show you guys? If I can find it. Okay, here it is right here. It's too short. I gotta show you the big one. Okay. Orbital mind lasers control lasers. Orbital mind control lasers. By using these lasers action, you may add, remove, or reverse acknowledgement of any group in play. You do this at any time during a privileged attack. The change lasts only for the rest of the current player's turn. Mind control lasers. Doesn't surprise me that they use that. Does you? Does not surprise me at all. Does not surprise me at all. And the crazy part is, here's the Hillary Clinton card. Here's the Trump card. All there. And you say Trump's not in it? Psh. Yeah, think again. He's in there. Man. Alright, the main video I want to show you is this video.
Cold War. Developing techniques for mind control to create a so-called Manchurian candidate. What is the extent of these brainwashing experiments? How did the CIA become involved in such far-reaching and disturbing research? In May 1953, scientists at Porton Down are researching one of the most lethal nerve agents known to man, sarin. The experiments are conducted on military volunteers, but the young servicemen have no idea what they are letting themselves in for. On the board,
these people conducted experiments in the Cold War. These people were making stuff like this, and people had no clue.
There was a separate notice typed, which said in so many words, volunteers wanted to help find a cure for the common cold.
By volunteering, Ken Earl becomes an unsuspecting guinea pig in the war against the Soviets. On May 4th at Porton Down, he and 5 other Air Force men are led into a small room by 2 technicians.
We were told by the 2 men to roll up the left sleeve. These 2 men then took 2 pieces of material and they taped them to our forearm. They then gave us each a respirator, and that we were not, under any circumstances, to take off the respirator. And the door was sealed behind us.
The door was sealed behind them. This is the kind of experiments they did on these people. Kind of makes you think what they're doing today. Nah, they wouldn't do that. National Geographic Channel. This is what this is right here.
It was very, very poky, a small building. And I found out since it was a gas chamber, which puts the fear of death into you, of course. But this technician, with a vial and a pipette, went round each of us, and he dripped onto this piece of material 20 drops in 2 rows.
The clear liquid is sarin nerve agent. It is quickly absorbed into the arm through the skin. The effects are immediate.
I became absolutely claustrophobic. I didn't know what sheer terror there is in being trapped and not being able to breathe properly. You feel you can't breathe. I was sweating profusely. And I now, even today, have nightmares about it. After half an hour, we were released, gasping and spluttering and sweating into the open air. Beautiful sunny May morning. Absolute bliss. What a wonderful thing to be alive.
The corresponding paperwork clearly states the purpose of the experiment is to determine the lethal dose of sarin. After the Korean War, disturbing new intelligence reaches Washington. Hundreds of American troops are still being held captive, subjected to brainwashing experiments, and then killed. Mind control research back home intensifies.
So we did do mind control research on people. This is what we did on people. Unbelievable. Yeah, I didn't even know that until now. That's the mind control lasers of the Illuminati card game.
The new goal is to cause an individual to become subservient to an imposed control, to the point where he will perform acts against his will and then have no memory of the act.
Did you just hear that? Perform acts against their will and have no memory of the thing that they actually did. Comes to think about it, I did see a video. You remember that video where he shot, this guy went up in the movie theater and shot the movie theater up? And Lil Wayne even had a video with it out. It was a video of Lil Wayne, and he actually did the shooting.
The search for a real-life Manchurian candidate begins. To produce such an assassin, the CIA faces two main challenges: how to induce amnesia and how to program in new behavior. In 1957, Dr. Ewan Cameron, an eminent psychiatrist in Montreal, believes he has the answers. Cameron applies his techniques under the guise of normal therapy.
It was a three-part technique which started with an effort to wipe out past patterns of behavior. And this was accomplished through the use of particularly intensive, repeated, high-level electroshocks until no more convulsions could be elicited from a patient.
Cameron then plays tape-recorded messages through helmets that are locked to his patients' heads. This psychic driving forces them to listen to repetitive statements for weeks on end.
So this stuff is drilled into their head. They're strapped to a bed, and they sit there for weeks on end listening to this stuff, and they're just brainwashed. And then that's what they call MK mind control, or CIA mind control.
To program in new behavior.
Like you said, it programs in new behavior.
Now, the final phase was to try to wipe out all recollection of what had happened. And that was accomplished by putting people to sleep for 30, 40 days, accompanied by different kinds of cocktails of drugs. Now, that's not any kind of therapy. That's a brainwashing experiment.
Wow. And people act like this doesn't exist.
In The Dark Knight Rises, Batman
Another subliminal movie that has mind control in it.
and exhorts Catwoman to put away her weapon. No killing, he says. No guns. Sadly, in the Century 16 Theater last night, life did not imitate that bit of art, and the midnight premiere of that film became a killing ground. Tonight, families are reeling, a young man is in custody, and police are trying to figure out how to disarm the suspect's apartment loaded with explosive booby traps. ABC's David Wright begins our coverage tonight from the Denver suburb of Aurora. David?
Good evening, Bill. We're just a few yards away from the multiplex where that massacre took place. At this hour, the coroner is at a local high school with families who have been agonizing all day about their missing loved ones.
These people are crazy, all right? A lot of these people are if you didn't know, they are mind control to go into these places, these mass shootings and stuff, and then perform. They're under serious mind control, and they shoot a bunch of people to try to get away with this gun control. A lot of these rappers too, like Lil Wayne, he had the scene in his video, and he's under possession by MK mind control. You know, all these celebrities, half of them are under possession. They're not even human anymore, half of them, and they put it in their videos, and then they actually do it.
12 people versus James Holmes. 12.
James Holmes, that's his name, James Holmes. This guy was in court, and he couldn't even see straight. He was on MK mind control drugs.
2. Appearances, please. You have a right to remain silent. If you make any statements, they can be used against you. You have a right to be represented by an attorney.
Yeah, right.
His criminal record, nothing more than a speeding ticket. He was a PhD candidate with a mother who has experience as a mental health professional. So much of the Aurora shooting suspect's profile doesn't seem to fit the destruction he unleashed in that theater, and ABC's...
Does that make sense to you? A speeding ticket. But he just said it himself. It doesn't even fit a person that would do something like that. You think he's under mind control?
Brian Ross now has the latest on James Holmes.
When the mother of James Holmes was reached at her San Diego home today and first told what had happened overnight, she expressed little surprise. "You have the right person," she told ABC News. "I need to call the police." Authorities said today the planning for the theater attack began at least 2 months ago, when Holmes purchased the first 2 guns of his arsenal at Denver area stores, passing the required background checks.
In the last 60 days, he purchased 4 guns at local Metro gun shops, and through the internet, he purchased over 6,000 rounds of ammunition.
It was over the last few months that Holmes, who was Phi Beta Kappa in college, saw his academic and career dreams collapse as he withdrew from a PhD program in neuroscience at the University of Colorado's Denver campus.
I think the motive is his life has continued to collapse for, I bet, a number of months or maybe even a few years. And as his issues with perhaps delusion, paranoia got greater, he just couldn't deal with what was going on around him.
Holmes grew up in a prosperous San Diego community called Rancho Penasquitos. This was Holmes just 6 years ago, called Jimmy, a clean-cut 5'11" high school senior, a member of the junior varsity soccer team at Westview High School.
That's where it made me think about the times that he was picked on in class. He was just that person who always was smirking.
One former classmate remembered,
It's always the ones that have the grin, huh? The ones that have the big-ass grin in the back of the classroom.
Holmes as the class bully, but others in his neighborhood said he was just a classic loner.
He was just quiet. He was just quiet.
Unable to find a job, Holmes moved to Colorado last fall and appeared to be nothing more than a quiet and easygoing graduate student. But it was a different Jim Holmes who showed up at this San Diego pawn shop, where the owner says Holmes sought tips on firing the guns he had planned to use.
We carry all of those firearms in stock. Very specifically remember James Holmes' face.
Last night, neighbors at his Aurora apartment building said they heard loud techno music coming from his apartment, with the recorded sounds of gunshots added in. Holmes was already...
That right there. Did you hear what he said? Loud disco music with gunshots adding in. That doesn't seem like a planned, controlled mind setup for what's going to happen next. Think about that. Loud music, techno, gunshots inside. Come on, people. Make it add up.
ready at the theater at the time.
What's odd is what really brought up the red flags for us is the apartment complex is very quiet. There's no noise, nothing. And then all of a sudden, yesterday night or midnight this morning, music starts up out of nowhere. That was kind of odd because no one throws parties in that apartment.
And then Holmes apparently attempted to make himself into the Joker character of the Batman series, according to a briefing given to the New York City Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly.
He had his hair painted red. He said he was the Joker.
He's a guy that has so left reality that he now is in this make-believe world that he's part of the Batman world. And that he's going to go in and play this character, and through that character, he's going to kill people.
Police say Holmes told them he was extremely calm throughout the evening
yeah, because he's under mind control.
Because he had taken the powerful painkiller Vicodin about 2 hours before the attack.
Bullshit.
The final step, police say, was to booby-trap his apartment, which they say was so full of chemicals and incendiary devices that it may be days before the bomb squad can figure out how to defuse them.
I see an awful lot of wires, trip wires, jars full of ammunition, jars full of liquid, some things that look like mortar rounds. We have a lot of challenges to get in there safely.
As with all mass shootings, victims and their families are left wondering why. Experts say in such cases,
What? Hold on. Why is she smiling in the background? Seriously? Hold on. What the hell? Look at this. Why is she smiling in there? Is that a smile or is that just... No, that's a smile, y'all. Why is she smiling? Is this a set? Is this like a hoax? This has to be a hoax. Why is she smiling? These people act like they're actors. You don't see that? People.
Experts say in such cases, parents often know, without specifics, that something is wrong.
Yeah, something's
so
wrong.
Many of these shootings that have happened before, we've seen that they are carried out by people who are really at a point of desperation, who felt they may have had no other options left.
Today, his father, Robert, a software engineer, left the family home.
He's a software engineer. I'm sure he is.
In San Diego, under police protection, to fly to Colorado to see his son. Police.
All right, I'm done. Hey guys, I'm gonna leave the link in the description about the Lil Wayne video. It shows it shows what's going on with this video, Mind Control, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description. It's called.
We should file a claim.
It's called My Homie Still, featuring Big Sean.
Just did.
Hold on, I gotta see how to do it. So I'm new to this crap, so I gotta see how to get the link, and I'll put it in the description the best I can, if I can do it, or if not, just put the name of the video too. All right, guys, see you. Like, subscribe.